Oh, God damn.
Myself and my boyfriend have been going through a lot lately. This is the last leg for us. We're really hanging in our relationship. I've seen an opportunity for a social experiment, and I think that it's best we both come here and get some help.
You made me wanna melt.
I've been with my partner for 3 years now. Just like everyone else, we've had our ups and downs, you know, things happen. But coming to therapy with a camera for some social experiment, that's just, it's a red flag, to be fair. And now, like, she knows my perspective on this. I'd prefer we go to a church and we sit down with a pastor in a corner. But, you know, us getting to this extent where we're actually here for a social experiment, it's just, it doesn't make sense. I think it's gonna go south, like, I'm 90% sure, but at the end of the day, I'll just say, look, I told you so.
Hello. Hi, Denise.
Come in, sit down. Hello, Paul. How was the traffic?
Terrible,
Oh,
but
was
we're
it?
here. We made it.
My name's Denise and I'm your therapist today. Have you ever been to therapy before?
Never. We've never been. I did go online. I read how important it is about, you know, having premarital therapy, counselling, and I do believe myself and Paul are in dire need of some help. I wouldn't say we've deteriorated to a point of no return, but at the end of the day, we're progressing in our relationship, and I'm not entirely happy.
Okay. So, Paul, thank you for joining us. Have you got any idea of what expectations you are looking to get out of this therapy session?
I have no idea. I'm curious to find out.
Okay, that's great. Well, it's great that you're here. So, shall we start?
So, of course, this isn't my first time on camera. I'm very comfortable in front of a camera. I understand Paul isn't. I didn't bring him here to embarrass him, though. This is kind of like shock therapy. It might shock him into kind of seeing that we need help, that we've actually got problems within our relationship.
I'm going to ask Shoma to just start us off. What would you like to start off with?
I love you. You do know that, right? And I feel as though we've got different views of life. So to me, Paul is very image. He puts too much emphasis on how people perceive us as a couple, how he's perceived as an individual and how I'm perceived as an individual. Currently in our relationship, we're doing a lot of patching instead of really like fixing the issues.
Okay, Paul, do you feel the same way?
I'm literally blown away. Like, I haven't even heard this before. Do you want to give more context to what you're actually saying? Because I'm a tiny bit...
Okay. Paul, for example, has a lot of friends. He has affluent friends. He feels like he has to fit in, which he might fit in as friendship, but when it comes to finances, he doesn't necessarily fit in. So if we're looking at percentage-wise and when they go out and what they spend, they can afford it. We can't. But Paul will do it anyway. And then he'll spend the next week or two chasing the bag he's blown, which now leaves me in a deficit of love. So there's neglect going on in our household.
All right, so we literally just got here. Like, we haven't been here for 5 minutes. Choma's talking about finance to the bloody Denise, someone that we don't even know. Now, first of all, there is no man that's out there with multiple accounts, crypto accounts, high interest accounts, that's gonna sit down and show his girl his balance. So she doesn't even know the financial situation first.
So hang on, let me just let Paul speak regarding the image and the going out and, chasing the bag, as Shoma just said.
You know what's interesting? I actually think she's right. But let me break it down for you. I'm happy and I'm humble enough to be the brokest man in a room full of millionaires. Do you know why?
Okay.
Do you know who would have the most to benefit in that type of situation?
You would.
So that's practically how I've been able to exponentially grow my income, basically.
He's taken the whole fake it till you make it to another extent, because at the end of the day, I'm not naive to know that you are treated how you're perceived. However, be yourself. With the whole spending above your means, should I say, yes, we can afford it. I'm not saying we can't, because he's the first person to speak about finances and we need to save and we need to do this and we need to do that. But as much as, I purchase nice things, Paul does a lot of the spending. And in the past, we've had situations where he's invested and there's been no returns. So I don't feel like I need to suffer at the expense of his investing and putting himself in positions to get deals when not all the time it works out. And we're together. Do you know what I mean? We're in a relationship. We're not business partners. So I'm suffering for nothing.
Okay. Do you feel that it's an equal situation?
She just said she's suffering for nothing. Okay. So am I nothing?
That's not what I said. It's like your comprehension. This is why we're here, because anytime I bring up at home, he dismisses it.
Really?
Okay, you're not comprehending what I'm saying.
Okay.
I've literally just explained it.
Yeah. Okay, look.
Out of everything I said, you got that bit. Like, Paul's, he takes what he wants to take, he hears what he wants to hear, and he sees what he wants to see.
I'm not dismissing it right now, right? We're having a conversation. I don't know you from anywhere, but you're here. Let's have the conversation, right? So when we first started dating, she was happy with, the drive, the ambition, me taking, calculated risk here and there and gaining rewards. She's the first person to come and, say, oh, congratulations, babe, let's celebrate together. But then I've actually kept the same energy, and now it seems like she doesn't really have the same energy. So who is the person that's falling off?
Okay, so in other words, I'm a hater.
Well,
because I still celebrate your wins.
No, that's true, but the only thing is, let me give you an example, right? So literally, I have access to a good number of private members clubs. This is through the clients of mine. I train high net worth individuals, celebrities, you name it. Now, with these membership clubs, obviously it's not everyone that's, invited. And I feel like that kind of affects trauma, whereas before, if we were going to like a normal type of, average, maybe not average Joe, but, the usual, then I'll kind of be, oh, babe, come along. But when I'm actually, grafting and chasing the bag, as she said, I don't really feel like she needs to be present, and she actually doesn't have an invite anyway, so...
Okay, that's not what I'm not upset that I'm unable to come to the events that you go to and to the gambling places, because it's gambling, if you ask me. It's casino, isn't it? So the clubs you guys are going to and the money you're spending, some of it is gambling, all right? Because everything he likes to say is constructive. Clubbing is not constructive. It's not beneficial to our relationship or to him. Even places like that, he places too much emphasis on how they look at him. So you're out here doing the most, buying so many bottles, paying 10K for tables, and it doesn't make sense. And I'm at home being neglected. When he comes home, he goes back to work. So my point is, you're putting too much emphasis on the way they see you. Why is that? You're supposed to be impressing me, not them.
So the type of people that I deal with, they're on another level, to be fair. They're high net worth and they work really hard for themselves. Now, for me to be able to kind of be that act of service for them, you can imagine how hard I have to work. If they're calling you, you need to answer. If they're sending you a message, whether it's a text or WhatsApp, listen, you need to be on point. I'm able to give them that service.
So I'm on my way for this social experiment and I'm quite excited. I'm happy that Jamel is using this initiative and wants us to be part of this. There's a few things that I do want to get off my chest, so it will be nice to speak to Jamel, speak to the therapist, and I'm excited.
Deborah, did you travel far?
I didn't actually. I live in Highbury, Islington, so it was not too bad of a journey, just about 20 minutes.
Oh, that's good.
So my partner's running late, I apologise.
Whose idea to come to the session was it?
It was Jamel's idea, but I'm open to it. I'm excited. I want to see where we can take our relationship, because we are, we've been together a year now. So I don't actually understand how Jamel is late. He's the one that has brought me to this whole thing, and you're late. I'm sitting here, I don't know the lady, I look very stupid, and Jamel is late.
Here he is.
Sorry, I'm late.
Was the traffic bad?
Sorta, yeah.
Well, you're here now, so that's all that matters. Can I just start by asking you what brought you here and how long have you been together?
Do you want to take that?
No, ladies first.
We've actually been together for a year. I met Jamel at one of his fitness events. So my sister also does fitness, so they were doing a class together. And then we met, we started talking, and then now we're here. Yeah. So he has had therapy before, and he thought it was really good and helpful. So I feel like that's why I'm open to doing it.
And what are you hoping to achieve by the end? What's your goal coming to therapy?
I think to actually set some foundations and obviously blossom from this beautiful relationship that we've got. We started great. Relationships do have rocky parts, but it's nothing too big, I guess, to get over.
Just looking into your background, have you had many relationships?
This actually is my first relationship, but I have obviously dated in the past. But yeah, this is my first relationship, and yeah, going strong a year.
And what about you, Jamal?
This is my fourth relationship. Hopefully it's my last one, to be fair, so looking good.
Mostly things are going well then?
I mean, to an extent. I think there's a lot that we need to work on. An example of today is Jamal's lateness. I work a 9 to 5, he does fitness, so our timetables already clash. But whenever we plan to go on like date nights or we go church together every 2 weeks, he's always late. When I address him, he's unable to communicate and explain like why he's late or give me a heads up for being late. So yeah, that's a problem for me. I feel like he's always late when it comes to something that we're doing. I don't feel like he respects my time. I don't think Jamal has ever been late to a client's Zoom meeting, but why is it when it's Deborah time, he's late?
My time management is not the issue. I feel like it's more down to communication. There's been several times.
Do you communicate that you're going to be late?
Of course.
What about last week when you were supposed to come to my house?
Yes, we changed the time before then. So Denise, this is the situation. So originally the time was for 8 p.m. Then I realised I double booked with another client. So I gave her the
Yeah, that's already an issue. We had pre-planned that we were going to meet up because as of recent, we haven't been seeing each other as often because Jamal's taken on more clients.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
But we had pre-agreed that we were going to see each other on this particular day. Why are you double booking?
Things happen. Like, I do have clients across the pond.
Can I just ask a question? When you are going to be late, do you communicate that? Do you let her know?
No.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Okay, so the last time we invited me to have dinner, I communicated that with you.
He told me 5 minutes before the time that he was going to be late. That's inappropriate.
Deborah just always complains about me being late. Like, she just feels like she's been controlling. Like, she doesn't take consideration of my time, where I'm coming from, what I'm doing before. She just wants to set the time and expects me to get there. They ain't gonna run.
Just for the record, how would you like him to change?
At the end of the day, I like his drive, and that's kind of why we're together. My point is, there needs to be a balance. I'm happy for you to grind. I'm happy for you to do all the things you do. But again, we're in a relationship. The problem with you is you think we're business partners. We're not. I need love as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got a business, I work, but I still feed you, I still love on you, but I don't get, it's not reciprocated.
Right, so hang on, Paul, do you feel that you're giving as good as you get in the love stakes?
Well, to be fair, I thought I did, but now I'm thinking to myself, like, does she trust, do you trust me?
What?
Yes or no?
I do trust you.
Okay. If you trust me and you trust my judgment and you know that between the both of us, we both got ourselves to the position where we are, which is a better position than we were in, why would you not continue to trust the process?
Because you've eradicated the whole love aspect of our relationship. I'm a woman, I'm not wood. Do you understand? Like, I've got a heart.
Now, this is the problem that I have with women, right? Like, for example, with Choma and I, when we first started, she knows I'm hardworking. I was doing X, Y, Z, what I had to do, okay? Everything was fine. She was happy I've got a hardworking guy, okay, hug, kiss, okay, cool. Nowadays, when I'm coming back late, the same person's complaining, asking me where am I coming from? And I'm thinking, what? Fair enough, I don't work overtime and I'm doing other things on a different level, but I'm the same person, so why would you question it?
Can I just ask, what's the last loving thing you did for
Denise?
Yeah, Denise.
Look, we're not going to play the whole turn each other against each other. When's the last time you bought flowers? Look, forget about all of that. Let's get down to what it is now. Just to briefly go over this, right? As far as I understand, you've been called, or employed rather, to basically help us in our relationship to get better, right? Okay. So how do you think you're doing so far?
Okay, first, don't be rude.
It's a genuine question.
That's uncalled for.
It's a genuine question.
Okay, I can answer that, Shema, don't worry. The fact is that I'm here to enable you to see through the fog that may be there at the moment. I'm not here to give you an answer. I'm just helping you discover what's going on.
Okay. What's your success rate in terms of like couples that have been to your therapy sessions and have gone on to get married?
Well, I think you've already done your research.
I did research and I found out that a lot of people gave you good reviews. A lot of them have actually gone on to get married. A lot of them have resolved their situation. Be open-minded. I feel like people get results from you if they're open-minded.
Babe, she didn't answer the question. What's your success rate? I need percentages. I deal with figures.
I'm afraid I don't work in figures. I work in people. And when people come back, it's because they're seeing results. So as far as I'm concerned, things are working.
So if we came back to
Enough
your
of that,
session,
because
that means
you're
it's
just-
working.
Well, you sign up for a certain number of sessions and then we discuss whether you need to do...
So there's more than one?
He's being very rude and I really don't understand why. She's just doing her job. I'm quite happy with the service we're getting so far, so I don't know why he needs to calm down a little bit, because I'm getting irritated at this point. You're being very dismissive.
No.
At the end of the day, Paul is making me feel less than, okay? He's very judgmental with the whole image thing. So if I don't do what he does, then there's a problem. One thing I'm not going to continue to do is be with a man, not saying that I want to leave this relationship, but I can't continue to be in a relationship with someone who makes me feel less than or makes me feel like I'm in the wrong every single time.
Babe, okay. If we're both kind of in line in terms of our goals and our visions, then I would assume that we'd both basically be on the same page. Is that wrong, Denise?
No, it's good when couples are on the same page, but are you on the same page?
Are you Oscar?
I'm asking both of you, do you
Answer the
think
question.
you're on the same page?
I feel as though we are on the same page with certain things, but again, as much as Paul says I like to nag, he has a lot of issues with things that I do.
Me and Jamel argue all the time about his phone and social media. He's literally in love with social media. There's this new app called Clubhouse. I don't know if you've heard about it. This guy loves the app so much. I actually wish the app was not invented. I would call Jamel after a long day and we haven't spoken for a whole day, and he has Clubhouse in the background. Like, he'd literally call me on his MacBook so that he can have Clubhouse in the background, and then we'll have a separate conversation. Like, that's just too much.
How does that make you feel when you've got Clubhouse going and you're on the phone as well?
I mean, if I haven't spoken to you all day, like, am I not important? Like, you know that I go bed early, so I'm literally going to take 20 minutes of your time. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. But he has to have Clubhouse in the background. He has to be on stage. Everyone has to hear Jamel's voice. Like, it's really not that deep. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's that he's craving female attention. Am I not giving him enough attention? This guy always wants to be on stage. What are you chasing? What are you looking for? I don't understand.
It's really not that deep, to be fair, the way she's making it. To be fair, I would describe Clubhouse as like a podcast, really and truly. So I just listen to it as like background noise.
No, you don't. You're always on stage and you always have to make one comment or another.
I'm on stage, but it doesn't mean I'm always commenting.
Regardless of the fact
Is
he doesn't
Clubhouse
listen to me.
important in your life?
Not more than Deborah.
No, I don't agree. Please ask that question honestly, please.
I said it.
So Clubhouse is less important than me?
No, you are more important than Clubhouse. That's facts.
I don't really agree, but that's fine.
You know what they say, it's a safe space, so it's an app full of fun and work, I guess. But I don't think it's about Clubhouse. I feel like Deborah she wants attention, I guess. So her being clingy here and there, it's cute, but she just needs to relax. I think she's getting a bit jealous, maybe.
How much time do you actually spend together?
I think when we first started the relationship, we were seeing each other quite often. Obviously, times have changed and shifted, and obviously our work schedules have gone busy. But now
Do you think you make time for me?
Yes, I do make time for you. As I said, like, within reason, within our time schedules, obviously she knows mine, I've given her my rota. She knows when I'm busy and when I'm not, so you can obviously bob and weave in between.
So
the
just
timing.
explain to me what a typical working day for you is.
Cool. So obviously, as I said before, obviously I'm across the pond, so I cover 8 different countries. Do you have an issue?
No, but it's like you keep saying you cover 8 different countries. We get it. Like sometimes you wake up at 6 a.m. Sometimes you wake up at. We understand.
There we go. So obviously I'm in different time zones. I'm in different body clocks, so I do get tired easily. And obviously I'm exhausting a lot of energy. Obviously I'm a personal trainer, nutritionist, and a brand marketer.
Do you feel that you make time for Deborah?
Most certainly.
I don't think he does. When we first got together, we were seeing each other up to 3 times a week. Now it's like once every 2 weeks. For me, I don't know if you want to spend time with me or not, but for me, that's like, what is the relationship if I'm going to see you once every 2 weeks? Do you get what I mean? I love quality time, and you know that. Yeah. And at the start of the relationship, that was what was happening. But obviously now there has been a shift, and that is what I don't like.
Okay. So, Paul, just give me a little bit of your background. What business are you in?
Yes.
Yeah, answer the question, babe.
So what does my business have to do with the relation? Just asking.
I just wondered, whether that was influencing the way that you
provider.
deal with life. Sorry?
I'm a provider.
What is it that you do? I don't understand. Just
Well, I don't see how this is going to help our relationship in the long term. This is the problem that I have, right? Look, with this Denise lady, I just feel like she's just asking lots of intrusive questions that doesn't really relate to the situation at hand. She's asking me, what do I do? Like, I make money. That's what I do. Like, it's a silly question. What do you want from me? Do you understand? You're here for a certain purpose to help with the relationship. Do that. If you can't do that, then you're not of use for me. The whole point is she's here, right? And I got her here. We've been together for 3 years.
you got me here.
No, well, not here specifically, but I mean, in terms of the journey, we've been together for a long time. I've managed to sustain our relationship financially, if that's the question you're asking.
No, I wasn't. I was simply wondering what motivated you and how you work together.
Without telling you too much, I literally work with high net worth individuals, influencers, celebrities, you name it, provide them with basically nutrition as well as fitness. I also run an IT business, which I work with potentially, really influencers, brands, more of the upscale, basically.
So you're a very busy man.
I am.
Even if there's nothing to do, Paul will tell his friends I've just done something. No, you haven't. Like, chill, relax. Like, you're not busy 24/7. Even the busiest person has time, Paul.
And do you do anything together? Any, hobbies that you do together?
Aside from on our laptops in the same room, maybe. When we started dating, we used to like the same music. He was more fun. Now I don't even know who's sitting next to me, to be honest.
And how do you feel?
I think that's BS.
It's BS.
Look, music. I'm a Burna Boy fan. You used to be, but now you're
I still
more
like Burna Boy.
Wizkid. Like, that doesn't make sense. If you like something, just stick to,
First of all, you've changed, babe. You didn't like what you liked 5 years ago. I know that because of the food, simply the food that you eat. Okay, so people change. I still like Burna Boy, but I prefer Wizkid. It doesn't mean that it has to be your way. This is a problem with you. Like, if it's not your way, it's the highway.
No, this is the problem with you. You don't keep the same energy. Do you understand? When we first started dating, you know what type of energy I was on. Do you understand? You know the frequency that I was taking us to.
Okay, answer the question she asked us. What do we do together aside from work that is meaningful? Is that what you said?
Let me tell you what we do, right? Every 28 days, we have a couples review. Right?
Oh,
so how the
hell.
couples review works is we basically, go over our individual and collective plans, goals, targets, and we kind of, make like a checkbox type of situation, and we mark stuff off, help each other out with whatever it is that we need help with, and it's worked basically in our relationship.
It hasn't worked.
So as we said before, obviously 9 to 5. Fitness guy, yeah? Okay, well, fitness instructor, brand manager, because he hates when I don't say it properly, all of that. So I have meetings all day, and so sometimes when Jamel messages me, I can't message him back as soon as. So his timetable, I'll say it's more flexible than mine. I would message Jamel, and then he would message me back, and then, I wouldn't respond in another 2 hours. And I know this guy's on his phone, like I literally saw him on Instagram, but because I had taken ages, because I was busy to message him, he would basically be matching my messages and take another 2 hours to message me. That is so childish. Is that not childish?
So wait, I'm being childish.
Is that not childish? Do you or do you not match my messages?
You're assuming that I do that.
Oh wait, hold on. Did I not see you on Instagram earlier that day that I messaged you? I double texted you and said, sorry, did you not see my message? Did I not?
Yeah, so that means you're monitoring my Instagram.
No, that's not, what I'm trying to say is, you match my messages. It's very childish. Okay, cool, so why didn't you respond to me for 2 hours?
I'm busy with clients. I'm not on
No,
my phone.
no, because you said I have your timetable, and yes, I do.
Yeah.
You wasn't with a client at that time.
Yes, I was.
Okay. Like, it's ridiculous, so childish. Like, if Max's man was doing something, he would just admit it's not that serious.
We're not going to do comparisons.
Max's boyfriend, we speak a lot, as you know. Wait, me and Max speak a lot, isn't it? Like, she told me that when she addresses a situation, he's able to acknowledge it and he just moves on. Do you get what I mean?
I couldn't care less about your friend's boyfriend, this and that, blah, blah, blah.
Well, maybe you should chat to him a bit more.
How about this, yeah? Don't compare me. Like, I've had enough with your conversation with your friends, talking about our sex life, our family life, this. It needs to stop now. Deborah does this thing that I actually hate. Like, she loves comparing me to other people, other guys. Like, no one likes getting compared to other people. Like, why would you do it? We've had this conversation enough times. Honestly, it just needs to stop. It pisses me off so much, like.
Is this quite an influential person in your life? Do they influence you, this friend?
Yeah, Max is my best friend, so we speak a lot about our relationships. I'm an open person. Like, I'm happy to speak about our sex life. I'm happy to speak about things that we do. Like, I'm happy.
And how does that make you feel, knowing that she's talking to this friend of hers?
It just sounds like my girlfriend's a chatty patty. I don't like girls that just be speaking too much. Like, I hear she's your friend, but when it comes to situations that's about myself, especially my family life, and then you're talking about...
Family life?
Yeah, family life.
What's that about your family?
Yeah, so let me just put some context into it. So she spoke about a situation between me and my mother.
Oh my gosh.
We've had a bit...
Are you actually going to bring up that situation
here?
here?
I'm going to bring it back up.
Okay.
So yeah, me and my mum, we have a bit of a, what would I say? Here and there relationship sort of thing. So she's gone to her friend Mansa and just told her about the situation. I'm thinking it has nothing to do with your friend.
I wasn't telling her, Denise, I wasn't telling her about the situation. I was just telling her how it was affecting me and Jamel. That's what I was saying.
And what advice did she give you?
She just said, like, that you're moving out soon. You know, it's just general chit-chat. Like, why do you care about what conversation with Matter?
Why do you have to open your mouth about general chit-chat? Am I just?
It's genuine chit-chat. You just need to understand that.
What, are you the shade bar now?
Okay, that's childish. I literally do not see an issue with telling my best friend about my relationship. Like, it's what girls do. It's what we do. It's how we like to communicate. We like to share with our besties. Like, Mansa likes to hear my stories and I like to hear hers. I think Jamel probably has an issue with it because he's not acting right. If he was doing the most now and he knew that I was happy with his behaviour, then maybe he wouldn't mind me telling Mansa.
So, in this checkup, are you both, as they say, on the same page?
Of course.
We're on the same page as we've been. We're always on the same page because all Paul cares about is if our finances have grown, if our savings has grown. Aside from that, if we're still arguing, nothing changes. Do you understand? If it's the point that I'm cleaning up the whole damn house, as well as having a 9-to-5 and a business, nothing's changed. He doesn't have an input in personal stuff. It's just about work. So if it's about working, then I understand, the review works.
So tell me, Paul, before you got involved with Shoma, how did you run your household?
Well, obviously, everything was self-sustainable, self-managed. However, at the end of the day, I think the question that you should be asking Choma is if she is getting into a relationship with a person like myself, I don't want to say bringing to the table, but...
What am I bringing to the table?
No, I'm not saying that you don't bring anything to the table. I'm saying you need to let her know that there's certain things that are expected when she's receiving, a certain frequency.
Okay, so first of all, I contribute to the bills. I'm doing my own. I take care of myself. Of course, he buys me things, but I'm going out to shop for myself. I'm also taking care of the home and him. Yeah, he might do most of the finance, but I'm bringing a lot to your life, and without me, you will be in deficit, you'll be lacking some things, okay? Let's not get confused. I work, okay? Paul does not finance me completely. Does that make sense? Yes, he earns significantly more than I do, but he doesn't finance me, all right? So if you're talking about me becoming a housewife, clearly, because you're talking about finances and me bringing
wrong with
something
that?
to the table, what's wrong with being a housewife?
I'm asking, it's a
Was
genuine question.
that the plan we had when we first met?
It's a genuine question.
I don't want to be a housewife. There's nothing wrong with it, but I don't want to be a housewife. I have a choice. Does that make sense? If I wanted to be a housewife, I would have become a housewife. That's what you keep pushing for me to do. That's not what I want to do, babe.
Okay.
Okay?
Denise.
He used to clean his own house and change his sheets and cook for himself. We just moved in together 6 months ago, and all of a sudden that has now become my duty and mine alone. Bearing in mind, both of us are busy.
Now, with myself, I'm an earner. Do you understand? I will go out and I will come back and I'm bringing the bacon for real. Do you understand? If that's the case, and I'm able to provide for the both of us and kids in the future from now, why would she stress herself being out, trying to earn the same thing that I already have? Sit down. Let's figure out something. I want to come home with a check and say, babe, how should we invest this?
And did you notice that things had changed once Shoma moved in?
In terms of how I behave.
You became lazy.
No. Let's not be toxic, babe. Look, this is what it is, right? How can I put this? If let's say last client finished by like 9:30, so, okay, whereabouts am I? The Bulgari, Knightsbridge, right? 10 minutes from home. So, Choma works in the city, 20 minutes.
30 minutes.
30 minutes from home. So if she gets home, she finishes at 5 roughly, and she's home roughly, maybe not 5:30, traffic or that, maybe 6, and I get home 9:30. Have you made a plan? Don't you think it's a bit practical to kind of consider that your partner may be coming home? But wait, this is for you, Denise. Do you think that,
I can understand what you're saying, and there does seem to be a few hours to spare. However...
No, don't do that. Tell her that.
No, I'm not here to tell anyone, just so you understand. I'm here to listen.
You just agreed with what I said.
No, it's not a case of agreeing. I said I understand.
No, it's true.
No, but just the way therapy works is you two discuss things, and I'm an intermediary. So I don't...
But that's not what's happening. What's happening is, if she comes up with a point, you're quick to say, yeah, Paul, what do you think about it? And then when you clearly agree with me on something, you're not asking her the same question. Right. What's going on?
So can I just say, bear with me, the reason that I go to you with a question is because you're not being vocal. Shoma is being very vocal. You're being vocal now, but the reason I was bringing everything back to you was because you weren't being vocal. And it's great to hear that now you have got things to say, because that's why we're here, is it not?
What the hell? Are you trying to gang up on me on something? I'm paying for your service. You should serve it equally. Do you understand? Make it make sense.
It's interesting to see the way that you both react. Can you see that you're reacting to each other?
Yeah, it's like every time I say something, he always has a rebuttal. You never acknowledge what you do. You're late, you're childish, you take 2 hours to respond to my messages, and you have an issue with the conversation that I have with my friends.
How would you like him to change in the way that he deals with you? What would you like to see different?
Okay, I would like for Jamel to actually listen to me when I speak, for one. I would like you to take accountability and try and fix the things that I point out, because it's small things, it's very tiny, and I feel like we could move past it if you just accept the fact that sometimes you can be childish, yeah, and sometimes you're late. That's it.
Is there anything that you would respond to with regards to Deborah?
I feel like just do not compare me. No one likes being compared. How would you like if I compared you to one of my best friends?
Well, if you were behaving, then maybe I wouldn't be comparing you to other people.
Wait, are you my mum?
There's things that you do that I don't like, and I just want to seek advice from my friends. And when she told me what her boyfriend's doing, it's even raising the bar even higher, because you can do that too.
So your friend has a boyfriend that you compare. Do you compare?
We're of the same age range. Her boyfriend is about his age as well. There's certain things that he's doing for her, like taking her out weekly, buying her gifts, all these sort of things. I'm going to look at my relationship as well and evaluate it. That's just it. And I'm just bringing it to Jamel, and hopefully he can work on it.
not that.
What I really like about Mansa's boyfriend is that he's proactive. He doesn't have to be told what to do. If Mansa wants gifts, if Mansa wants a meal, he's already on it before she has to say. And Jamal really needs to take a leaf out of his book.
Does Jamal ever buy you gifts?
Ask her.
I mean, at the beginning of the relationship, in fact, no, before we got together, actually, he did buy me gifts. But now it's definitely dropped. I don't really get much. Even like flowers or like chocolate, you know.
Is that a problem for you?
Yeah, 100%. I love gifts, and that's just like my love language, and Jamal knows that.
So at the start of the relationship, me and Jamal went on so many dates. He was treating me like a princess. We were going out on dates, he was buying me gifts. You know, we were spending a lot of quality time together. But now, Jamal is the complete opposite. He's completely fallen off, and it's like he doesn't care.
Like, Deborah's love language is a bit confusing sometimes. Me personally, I think it's wishy-washy. Like, 1 minute it's giving gifts, next minute it's quality time. Like, I understand it could be both of them at the same time, but one thing is always outweighing the other. I don't mind it, but I'd rather like go towards the quality time right now, obviously because of my personal things I'm doing.